You have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up, everyone!
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe now. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Jay,
Yo,
we're back. Up from the depths.
I guess I've been here the whole time.
You've been
You're
here.
the one.
Well,
You're the one. Just
listen.
jet setting everywhere.
Listen, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the show's been coming out. We had a show come out 2 weeks ago, so we're on schedule.
Yes, we are.
But it feels like we haven't done this in a long time because we pre-recorded the last episode.
That's correct. And
Right?
also in a weird,
How long has it been?
like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Which is I'm having kind of Jake withdrawals and like Monster Island withdrawals.
It's weird.
But also in another scheduling quirk, we're recording this on Godzilla Day Eve. So like when in theory we probably should have recorded this tomorrow night after all the stuff and talk about the releases and
a bunch
everything.
of news and stuff.
No, we'll let the other people cover that. We'll be the hype train. We'll be the ones that talk about how excited we are for it when this drops after it even after it already comes out.
Yeah, we'll cover it in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Just when you think you're done with it, we'll be there to regurgitate it.
Sadly, I'm not going to be making it to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla tomorrow. It's not in the cards. It's 2 hours away from me. I gotta go. I gotta take a drive on Saturday. It's just not. Listen, maybe if it was a different Godzilla movie, I'd make it happen.
Yeah.
But I gotta work tomorrow, and I would have to leave early. And this isn't, I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to, but it's not a drive 2 hours and leave work early Godzilla movie for me.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, that's
I hate that
quagmire. Yeah,
but I hate having to say that. It makes me feel bad.
Are they going to kick our podcast off the podcatchers because of that? I don't know if we lose credibility. Totally cool. I'm excited to go. We have Godzilla Day tomorrow, and then obviously at night I'm gonna go check out the film. Just like I said, I have the opposite. Like it's right down the road.
You're close, yeah.
I mean, I could in theory walk to it. And then Friday, I'm all day. I'm setting up. I have a big toy show. Tokyo Toy Town has a big toy show this weekend in Plano, which is a suburb of Dallas. It's the Retro Expo. It's a really cool event. It's actually gonna have other than Sigourney Weaver, like a lot of the folks from the original Alien are coming.
Sigourney Weaver's gonna be there?
No, she's the only one that's not.
Oh,
so it'll be everybody
okay.
but her. So Tom Skerritt will be there. And then Anthony Daniels will be there. Obviously,
what's it called?
Retro Expo. And they run like 6 or 7 toy shows across the country every year. They do 3 in Plano. It's awesome, and they have the dude that played the lead, not Jeff Bridges. But the guy that played the lead in Tron back in the day, Brian something or another, he's there. They have a really cool, it's very alien focused from the celebrity guests. The Austin St. John is there, the Red Power Ranger. He's going to be there. There's a lot of cool guests, but they have a really good vending hall. It's awesome. It's everything from toys from the 30s to modern toys. And I'm not the only kaiju booth there. There's a lot of really cool kaiju stuff, but I'm really excited to do it. We had a great time last time. It's a really well-run toy show and kind of pop culture thing. It's not like a huge convention, but it's a really cool 2-day event.
That's cool. Any toy show convention or whatever, it's gonna be fun.
For sure.
I'm excited for you. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm hoping to sell some good stuff, and I'm actually expanding my booth setup, more than doubling it. So it'll be fun to do that. Exactly. So
if anybody, listen, we were doing toy anxiety last night, and I showed off a toy that I bought from you that I'm going to show off here.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if you watched this part, but I was like, hey, I know it sounds like I'm always talking about Tokyo Toy Town, and I'm not just saying it because Jakey's one of our best friends. It's because I get 80% of my Godzilla stuff from Tokyo Toy Town because it's a
Thank you,
good
thank you.
spot. You know what I mean? So
Well, thank
yeah,
you.
if
Yeah, we
anybody's
try.
out in the area, Jay's got some good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. And even if you're not, come visit anyway. I promise it's worth
Take a
the
drive.
gas money.
It's worth it.
But yeah, so it's gonna be a fun weekend, man. From Godzilla Day into that, it's gonna be super duper cool. Hopefully.
Now, are you so Godzilla Day? Are we expecting any? You got any like? I don't know. You got any hopes and dreams for tomorrow, or
Well, I
any
think
surprises? You think, or is it just going to be?
I feel like last year there wasn't any major surprises.
Right.
I mean, I think what I'm most excited for that I know is going to happen, like it's on the schedule, right?
talk about
Are the two shorts.
Yeah.
I think the animated Godzilla versus Gigan Rex with the really funky Gigan interpretation.
So cool looking.
And did you see that Bandai's doing movie monster series of that? I mean, that's amazing.
We're getting a Gigan Rex figure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Which I think is so cool. So there's that, but then they had the drop, the teaser, probably, I don't know, a week or so ago for the, let me see if I can remember the name right. Godzilla Fest 3 Attack on Gigan, the crowdfunded one using Suitmation, which is going to be, it's going to be very similar to the Godzilla versus Hedorah from last year.
It's the same Godzilla suit, I think.
Yeah. So that will be really cool.
I'm super excited to see live action Gigan again. Like that blows my mind that we're getting that. And it looks so, the little teaser looks so cool.
100%. I mean, I think we'll get maybe a couple more cool releases. I know we can talk about some of the releases later when we talk about kind of toy news and stuff.
Sure.
But I think the biggest hope, which I know won't happen, but like pie in the sky, like something I think would be really cool, is if they did announce something about Singular Point. I haven't heard any definitive yeses and nos. And if you think about it, the timing would be perfect because, in a couple of months, it's the 50th anniversary of Jet and Megalon, and we know Jet's obviously the main character in Singular Point. So I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's possible they might be waiting for that. I don't know, but it feels like it's been a long time since Singular Point came out.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath, but I mean, more than anything, I just want Toho to do another. I just want Toho to do another Godzilla movie. I want.
Oh yeah, now that would be super pie in the sky.
That's all I want, but I don't know what to think, or I think that's a little much. They're going to be like, "Hey, we're giving you 2 shorts.
Yeah,
leave us alone for a little bit."
All right, let's do other things. Yeah, I expect some cool merchandise reveals that we maybe haven't seen yet. I haven't leaked yet.
Yeah,
but I think I really, if we go in tomorrow and we see 2 fun shorts, and that's all that we get,
that's
I think it's still successful. I really do. Like I'm happy, and we watch those, and then I'll go watch Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla in the theater, and we'll probably buy some stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I don't think it needs a big surprise drop.
Sure.
It would be awesome, of course, if they said something, but I don't know. Like I feel like it's really, the floor is pretty high on it. Like there's not going to be a disappointment unless both of the shorts are just terrible, which they're not going to be.
They're not going to be because they're going to have Godzilla in them.
And Gigan.
I don't care what they are. Like Godzilla, Gigan, and a new version of Gigan.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. It's going to be great. I mean, the Hedorah short last year was awesome, and it's going to be similar. So,
and it just gets your gears turning for next year if they follow this, which they will.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, are we going to get a modern day Jet?
We're going to get
what if they do
another
live action version of the Singular Point Jet? That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be cool. Just straight. I just want to see a Jet Jaguar versus Megalon rematch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That'd be amazing. I mean,
I think it's going to happen.
There has to be something that's going to be really cool for that. And I believe when you talked on the show, when you went to San Diego Comic-Con on the Toho panel, they talked about like it's going to be.
They said heavy
Jet
on
and
Jet.
Megalon. Yeah.
Like they said heavy on Jet Jaguar. So,
which is awesome. I mean, makes total sense. I would love for him to get his. We talked about this on the which kaiju need a reboot or reimagining, or kind of what could you do next. We talked about like Jet needs its own series, like, and not just Singular Point, but more like Jet battling like
just
Megalon,
other random,
like more just following him as opposed to him as a weapon or something that was built, but like just like Jet as Ultraman type thing. Like a series,
I want a Jet Jaguar series, but it takes place in continuity after Godzilla versus Megalon, like that same Jet Jaguar, make it look old like that, and just have him fighting other monsters while Godzilla's off doing.
I mean, and explain, when Godzilla's fighting Mecha Godzilla and Titanosaurus in the following years, maybe Jet follows Megalon into Seatopia and he's in there fighting, and it's just, Jet Jaguar and Seatopia, the adventures, it'd be something amazing. He has to be somewhere, or outer space, that too. He can follow Gigan as well to outer space.
I want to see a continuation where Jet and Megalon become friends.
Oh,
and Megalon has to turn to the good side. Yeah. He's still kind of dumb, but he's like, that'd be great.
I love it. Oh man. But yes, so Godzilla Day. Happy Godzilla Day Eve, and happy Godzilla Day to everybody that's listening to this. Hope you had a good one, because this will probably come out on Friday.
Sure.
So if it comes out on Thursday, happy Godzilla Day. And if it doesn't, happy Godzilla Day after.
Right. Yeah, perfect. Well, do we want to go ahead and get into some pickups? We want to do that and then get to the news,
some of the toy news. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just toy news, so we can that won't take very long before we get into our main topic. But yeah, I got some pickups. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I got a really random assortment. Like, there's not like a theme. There's the theme of this one is there's no theme. But I got something that I teased last week. I think it might be a signature piece, not from a just as it is, but what's on it. So we'll get that in a second. But first, I haven't opened this. I just came in today. I did get the Mezco Mothra and Twins box. It is unopened. I'm not going to open it here. I still haven't opened my other Mezco Destroy All Monsters yet. I know. So I have them all in a corner, my Mezco corner. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. But I've heard pretty good overall, pretty positive things about it for those that have received these, especially with the Mothra itself. Like I heard it's really cool and done very well. So excited about that. Still a little concerned with the Shobajin. They do look, like I said, maybe a little more rugged.
I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't bother me because I think they're this big.
Yeah, they're very small.
Their faces are like this, so it's like, what can you do? Yeah. But the fact that we have figures of them is making me not care much. I canceled my order on that.
Yeah, you told me that.
And I think I talked about it on the show last week. I canceled my order on that just because October was a crazy month. But I've been seeing everybody receive those and post pictures, and I think I'm going to reorder it because it looks great. And I didn't get the Hedera set either. I kind of want that too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm excited. I think I'm going to open these probably after the show, and we'll see. But there's that. And then I also picked up something that we've talked about. I have my cap on my D4 Real collection, just my one, and I got another one. I'm now down to only of the cap. I only have one more that I'm missing. The Megalon one hasn't been shipped yet, but I did get my penultimate one, which is my favorite, the Titanosaurus, and I absolutely love this one. This is so good.
That's a cool toy.
This might be my favorite of the D4 Real so far.
Yeah,
it
good
really
colors
is.
On that.
It's great. I mean, this is wonderful. Antenna very brittle here, so you got to be careful. But other than that, like he's just beautiful. He's beautifully beautiful. So he's up there next.
It's the best he's ever looked, honestly.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but he's pretty damn good. I like because with the smaller body, the very kind of crocodilian.
He looks very cool. It comes across way more in that figure than I think it does.
Yeah,
anywhere else.
I mean, if it has like very like, I mean, if you not to get too, me and you going down our rabbit hole that we both would love on like, late Cretaceous theropods, but it has almost that very Spinosaurus type, baryonyx type snout and stuff. But I love it. And like I said, the other D4Ls that have come out, I've been like, I don't need that. I'm sticking to my cap. So I have some restraint.
I saw one of the stores I was in Orlando. I know I just told you they didn't have any kaiju stuff. And I forgot about this. Behind the counter, they had an 89 D4Real. And
do you have that one?
I don't.
I thought you did. Oh, you have the Biolante though.
I bought the Biolante and I think Biolante is all I have.
And Sarazawa. You have the Sarazawa.
And right? Sarazawa, but I just never ended up picking up. I don't know why. I just never ended up picking up.
I thought you had that one. Not bad.
I didn't.
That's a cool one. That's of all
Yeah,
the
it's cool.
Godzillas. I mean, I do like my Creepy Eyes, the Creepy Eyes 73 as well. That's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
one. But so I got that, and then I got two. Well, technically three other things, but two I'll do together. Hey, it's Halloween, orange and black. What's my favorite thing in the world? Marasan 350 Biogojis, and I showed off a couple. It wasn't last time. I think it was maybe 2 episodes ago. Maybe it was last time. The green and black, the double dip, the double casted vinyl.
I love that one. Yeah.
Well, they did it with black and orange. So they did both the orange and over black and the black over orange. So the one that got probably less notoriety was the orange with the black on top, but because it's very subtle. Like right here, if I show it to you, it looks black, right?
Yeah, I don't see
with the
it.
gold. But if you hold it up to the light or you look really closely, it's orange vinyl under there, and it really like bleeds through.
Gotcha.
You can barely see it like here in the dark, but when you put some light up to it, it looks really cool. But even if it didn't, and it was just black with the gold, I love the look.
Yeah, it still looks cool. Yeah,
it looks very cool. But then this was the Halloween one, and I know they also released a Gamera and a Hedorah in this as well. Those are the 3 that I saw. But look at this bad boy. Halloween, orange and black marble. Look at this guy. Woo! So I do think I got to, you know what? I was going to count. How many is that? Let's see. That's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 40, 44. I have 44 Marasan Biogojis now.
You're a madman. That's insane.
I know. But I love them all. I love all of them. They all have names. They all have backstories.
Good.
Yeah. And one day I'll get Social Security
you sleep
cards
with
for
a different one each night.
Every night I rotate. Yeah. Don't want to get any of them jealous. No, I love them, and they are just they're just glorious. But but okay. So the last thing I got, a little odd pickup because it's a very famous Sofubi item, but the item itself, I've sold it on the site. I've never owned it. I have no desire to own it. But I would say other than Marasan Biogoji and then my love for Yamato Takeru, probably the one thing that I've mentioned the most on our podcast through our year and a half of doing this is, of all the famous Toho actors, the late great Hiroshi Koizumi is the one I always mention the most, right? Everybody has their love of Takarada and Harada and Kumi Mizuno and everything, but I'm repping Hiroshi Koizumi. He's one of my favorites. And I was able to get the famed M1 yellow egg, which has all the retro style Bullmark re-releases in it. Like they're either the mediums or the minis. They have 6 or 8 or 9 in them, which is the big egg that M1 released. And it itself is awesome. But I got it autographed with Hiroshi Koizumi, the late great Hiroshi Koizumi. So here's the egg. Here it is. I'm going to pretend it's the Mothra egg.
That's so crazy.
With the stand. So they released 3 of these, or excuse me, 4 of these. They had 2 yellows and 2 greens. 2 yellows were, one of the yellows was painted, one unpainted, and same with the green. And then inside here, there are all these retro Bullmark toys. I'm not going to open it here because I will probably smudge the autograph. I don't want to do that. Maybe I do. Maybe I do it.
Just smudge. Go ahead, smudge it.
I didn't. There it is. Look at this. Hiroshi Koizumi. So this has all the cool retro re-releases. These are the mediums.
Dude.
So you have your glow-in-the-dark Jet. You have your Bullmark Mecha Godzilla. You have your classic Bullmark style Godzilla there. You have your orange Gigan Bullmark.
Dude.
And you have a Megalon in the classic Bullmark style, but the 6-inch version, and then the King Ghidorah. This one's doing the reverse splits. This is very interesting looking. But so this one has the 6, so the other one has 8 or 9, and they're the minis.
That's amazing, right?
So, but they're all done in the Bullmark style, just re-released. These came out in 2002, 2004, and I think 2 of them were like HMV store exclusives or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm a bad Sofubi historian right now, but anyway, but I got it for the autograph, and it doesn't have a direct tie or anything to Koizumi. It's not like a picture of. It's not an autograph on a Mothra 61 poster. Yeah, or anything, but I can say it's Mothra's egg. He's been in 3 Mothra movies,
right?
So,
are you gonna leave all those figures bagged and inside the egg?
Right now, yeah. I might sell them. I don't care as much for the figures. I
Yeah.
could like display them out around the egg, like with maybe
Right.
some acrylic risers of a cool
Yeah, it
effect.
just depends on where, I
But
guess, if you got space or whatever.
yeah, or I could just sell them as a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this. I mean, I never thought I would own. I never got a chance to meet Hiroshi Koizumi. I know he did a couple conventions and stuff, not a ton, but like I think having his autograph is really cool. And it's one that like I said, of all the actors, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
And to have it on a Sofubi item, which I also love,
Right.
and I think it's kind of cool. So that was my weird, but I absolutely love it. It goes in my favorite items detolf here. It will have its own little cube. But I'm super, super duper excited for that. So those are my random and wacky pickups, ranging from Mesco to an autographed egg.
That's what I like about Godzilla and Sofubi is that there's weird shit like that.
Yeah, there's
you
eggs.
You can get anything. Just go get an assigned egg.
With little Godzillas inside of it, little monsters inside of it.
Love it. Those are some good pickups, man.
How about you?
I don't have many. I did pick up these these little babies. I honestly don't even. I don't have. You're gonna know who did these. I don't have the name in front of me. I can't remember. But I picked up this little Cyclops.
Oh wow, that's not Ishmael stuff. His is a little bit bigger. I don't know who that is.
Is it not? I thought
Is it?
this
It might be.
was.
Oh, and the Ymir, awesome.
And then
It
I
might
got the
be.
Ymir. I got the.
If it's not, we should give him credit because Ish Toys is awesome.
Hold on, Death Katoy. Oh, it is Justin Ishmael.
Okay,
it
good.
says Death Katoys, but then it says justinishmael.com. So yeah,
nice.
these are his.
He does great stuff.
They're great, and I actually passed on these at when I was in New York at Toy Tokyo because I was buying I bought some crazy stuff at Toy Tokyo, so I did not buy these. But then I saw them again at a shop in Orlando, and I was like, "Well, that's a sign. If I'm going to see these again, they're a little cute, and they'll go up. I'll put them up with my Kraken, in my growing Harryhausen collection. But just a little fun thing.
They'll just keep you as a reminder before you cave and order the Medusa and all the other Harryhausen X Plus stuff."
It's almost happened a few times.
I know that thing looks really good.
The only other pickup I got is I did get, and I got this from you, so thank you. But I got the dancing ballerina Gigan.
I love that.
Does that not look like a fucking? I love
honestly,
his legs straight out like that.
When you unveiled that and said that on Toy Anxiety on Tuesday, I was cracking up. I'd never seen anybody because I'd never thought to pose it like that.
Right. Well, I was just like when I got it, I was like, what does he look like with his legs out? And I was like, he just looks so silly if you just put one out and turn a head. He was like a little ballerina.
I love it.
No, I got this awesome, flying form Gigan. And dude, I love this thing, man. This kind of the thing that sucks about it is sure, it's it sucks to try to stand him on. So I'll put him on an acrylic thing, but his little saw blades are kind of in the way. So he sits kind of funny, but this is a figure that when I opened this up, I was like, oh, I kind of want to get other colorways of this. This is one of those ones that's just like, oh, I want more of these. This is a cool toy.
Yeah.
You just don't see it as much, and he looks cool when he flies.
And that colorway that was the HMV store exclusive, I believe. Was it that or the Mail Away? I think that was the HMV store exclusive from Marasan.
Yeah.
So that was a store exclusive, very cool. That I've had a couple of those come through the store. You got my favorite colorway of all. Of them.
Yeah, it's a cool one. Yeah. I think it would be cool. I know they make. Some other who else has a flying form figure out there? It'd be cool to get is there any
did Marbit do one as well?
But I mean, are there other
other kaiju?
Other kaiju flying
Hedera, you have the Hedera
because it would be cool to do. It'd be cool to do a little setup of the Gigan Hedera. Maybe I don't know if there's a Megalon flying form figure out there at all, but it would be cool if there was a couple like that you could do.
I mean, you'd obviously be able to do obviously Rodan and
they'd be easy.
Mothra. Oh, there's and not Godzilla, but in the Gamma world, that Marasan did a flying version of Gauss where it's the head's up straight and actually flying. There's I just had one go through the store that was a bright purple and electric blue. It was very cool.
That's cool.
They have a Gauss one that's really good.
Is there like a what Zegra? Is there a flying? That'd be cool.
That would be really. I think there is. I know.
I don't know if I've ever seen a flying form of him, but
I think there is. I really do.
Yeah.
There's obviously the Godzilla flying form from the head Godzilla versus Hedorah. They do that. Yeah. And Rocco and Saka, you get that one.
It would just be really a cool setup, I think, of like all the flying dudes together. Yeah.
And don't you have the multi like Jet Jaguar, the one where he's in the flying form as well? Too?
Yeah, Bandai. I have that.
Yeah,
I have that.
He could be flying.
That's what I was trying to look. I was like, what do I got back here?
Yeah, you get some pretty good ones.
I did over the weekend. I know it's hard to tell. There's not a lot of light back here, but over the weekend, so these two shelves that are behind me, these are full of Godzilla stuff. Last time we recorded, that's not what was here. These two shelves were over on this side of the room, and the two shelves that are on this side of the room were right here. And over the weekend, I said, you know what? I got this cool Godzilla case right here. I want these close to this. So instead of taking everything out of my DTOFs, I slid them across the floor. Just moved the whole shelf.
Wow.
Except these two, they move pretty easily on a wood floor. Like I don't have carpet in here. And those two, I was just able to like, nothing fell in them. I was just like, bloop, pulled them right out, slid them across the floor. The only issue is that the two Godzilla shelves, they are linked by a row of lights. There's lights that go through one, come out the bottom and go in the other. So I had to like move it 6 inches, then move this one 6 inches.
Oh my God.
But that was easier than taking everything out.
Yeah.
But I got most of my kaiju stuff is here now, or it's at least not like in multiple parts of the room. It's mostly here. So that's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to keep that up for long. I know you can't see, I sent you a picture, but I got a lot of free space up at the top.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to do is put some like floating shelves, kind of like what you got, across the top, and then I'm gonna maybe take out a lot of the smaller things out of these to free up space in these for more toys.
Toys. That's the greatest. Like, it's the most stressful and the happiest thing for collectors is like empty space, because it's like opportunity, but like also it's empty space. We got to fill it quickly. So it's that's amazing. And I was gonna say, like, your background there, like the shelves, like the cool Godzilla case you have that leads up to the DTOS.
Yeah.
The kind of skyline, the silhouette of it, even with the not light, is awesome. With like, you have like the spines and the colossal monster, then the Orochi heads and stuff. It's a really cool looking skyline. Yeah.
The only thing is, like, I did sit here and I thought a little bit, and I was like, man, you know what? I love this case here. Yeah. But I could fit 2 DTOFs in this space, and just the DTOFs have an extra square.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I took this out, that would give me 2 more squares worth of space in this area. You know, this stuff would still fit on the top.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't know if it would touch the ceiling then.
I don't think so. No, I think it would be kind of high in the room.
Yeah.
But it would still sit on top. And I would have, you know, this ends. You look here, there's a whole other shelf above it. So if I got rid of this thing and put 2 DTOFs here, that's 2 more squares of space. But I'm not there yet. I might have to do that someday, but I don't right now. But
and ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kaiju home edit version of the show.
This is the toy stress. If you like listening to this, check out Toy Anxiety, because this is all we talk about. And then this thing will just go in the middle of the room, and it will just have toys in it.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like a merchandising display, like in the center of a store.
Exactly.
That would be amazing. We could walk around it to look at everything.
Well, I would have to get a second one, because it's
on the back of it,
solid, it's black. But if I got 2, put them back to back, you could walk all the way around it.
I think that's the most genius thing that's ever been said on the show. Yeah, it needs to happen.
That's what I'm gonna do. I wouldn't be able to podcast in here anymore. But
you know what? We all make sacrifices. That's okay. It's okay.
I got another room I could podcast in.
Yeah, right. We'll
start podcasting in my hallway, and everyone's like, "Wait, well, there's no room anywhere."
And we'll just green screen the room on the back of you, so you can still have the kaiju room effect. Yeah, no, I think it would be amazing.
That's a good idea.
Well, The room looks good, man. The room looks good.
It's a lot of work. I appreciate it. I moved a lot of my NECA Ninja Turtle stuff over the weekend. I'm in the process of giving my Gremlins a second shelf because there's too many of them.
That's a big day for the Gremlins.
I'm also selling all my NECA Godzilla. So if anybody wants like 23 NECA Godzilla toys and some of them are unopened, let me know because I'm trying to sell the entire lot as one lot. One day, someone will.
You can go from having none to being a top tier.
That's a whole collection. That's a whole collection. Yeah, that's a lot of figures. Like 23 figures. I think I own everything. I think I'm missing one figure.
Yeah, the reactor glow, is that still the
reactor glow? I never got that one. I think I got everything else but that.
Gotcha. That's pretty impressive, man.
They got to go. There's no room for them anymore.
Well, speaking of toys, we had some toy news.
Yeah, let's talk about some toy news.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a lot, and it's a lot of like little things. Like we started, I think, really kind of this week, seeing some of the Godzilla Day, pre-Godzilla Day kind of releases. Everybody's coming out with stuff, and there's a lot of like one-offs that are like, oh, cool. But like, I wanted to just highlight kind of two from a like, like we can kind of talk about our thoughts. And the first one, well, actually three, because I do want you, and I want you to talk about some of the Mondo stuff that came out. I have some of the photos and stuff, but I know you sent me that today, and I was like, wow, this is cool stuff. But
yeah,
we mentioned earlier Bandai Movie Monster Series doing like Gigan Rex, but they did release the winner of the fan vote. Was that last year? In Varan. So Varan won it. So they just released the images. And I think they're actually out. Maybe are they out now? But I'm going to share my screen here. But yeah, they the Varan Bandai Movie Monster Series are out, and here they are. Let me share this real quick. There we go. There he is in all his glory. So
that's an ugly toy.
I know, right? So it's the first.
What a weird color. It's like such an ugly color.
Yeah. It's but it is the first Varan. This one was the one that won the fan vote. So this one's out. So it's official. And so that's great. That's the big news.
Yeah.
Like, something from fan vote to fruition. Everybody's happy. So they did that. And then they also and that will be a Godzilla store exclusive. So that's going to be a G store exclusive. Then they also kind of snuck in another release. They did a new Kiryu. Let me see if I can have a picture of that one. I think I do. See here. And so they snuck another one in here on that one. Here we go. It to me just kind of like blah, like it just here it is.
That blue's weird, but all right.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's here. But I thought the bigger news, because we knew this stuff was rumored. The bigger news, what we didn't see, but has been released, and I think confirmed the last time I looked, was they also are going to release the first ever figures of Ebera for the Movie Monster Series, for Manda in the Final Wars style, the Showa version of Baragon, so from Frankenstein Conquers the World, and a Final Wars Hedorah in Movie Monster Series. But they're also doing Mechagodzilla 93, King Ghidorah 91, and another Final Wars Godzilla. So like big stuff from Bandai. I mean, that's a huge roster to drop.
That's a big list. Yeah.
And a lot of folks have been clamoring for Varan, yes, but also Ebera and Final Wars Manda for a while. So that'll be really cool.
I've been seeing people posting the the rumors and the photos that were kind of, I don't want to say leaked, but maybe they were leaked. I don't know.
I know,
but
right?
They were, yeah. It looks good, man. I'm ready.
And the other one, you actually also shared this with me, because I didn't see it until you shared the news. Was from a Bandai subsidiary, and as Fantazzzy with all the Z's.
Yes.
And we've talked on here about them releasing last year Hedorah, like the neon pink Hedorah and the blue Hedorah and stuff. And they're really cool, fun, whimsical. And they also pair it with some of like the more with Bandai fashion, right? So they released the Gigan ones. And I'll tell you, man, I did not pick up the Hedorah, but I think I'm going to pick this one up. This one is really cool. So let me see if I have a picture here of it. I believe I saved it. Here he is. I mean, this is really good. This is
He's a
really
little
cool.
chunk. I like how
Yeah.
chunky he is. Yeah, it's a cool toy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it has 3 Z's. It has to be good, right?
You gotta buy it if it's got 3 Z's.
And I love that. I love it when they do more authentic colors in this wacky style first, and then do the wacky colors with this with the
Yeah.
sculpts. I think this
Is
is
this
really
the
cool to
only?
see it.
Is this the only one that we've gotten a photo? This was the only one I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know with the header one, they dropped 2 initially, an original one, like kind of like movie accurate, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, colorway, and then the bright neon one, and then they came back, neon pink one, and they came
Right.
back and did a blue one as kind of a tertiary release later on in the year. So I don't know if this is the only one they're doing for Gigan. Maybe they didn't sell very well. I don't know, or maybe the hetero with the normal colorway sold the best. But I hope they do at least one wacky version of this.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. And then other than that, before we could talk Mondo, I mean, like I mentioned, there were a lot of one-offs. I mean, we got the Bandai Ultimates, Ella King, the U2 stuff, CCP, the Trauma Gamera came out. Monster Arts did a Night Combat Shin Godzilla, which is like a repaint of their Monster Arts one. Marasan, I already mentioned Marasan did the Halloween releases, the Marble of Orange and Black for Gamera and Hedora. Spiral Studios released their next big one, which was the 2019 Godzilla. And and then there was the one, I can't believe we probably should have talked about this one, the Gigan Final Wars letter opener, because everybody wants one of his side hands to do the letter opener, open their letters, because people use that. And I don't know if we talked about this on the last show, but Medicom, their next lottery is going to be an Narako and Saku version of GMK Godzilla, which is really badass looking. But there's just a lot of that little stuff. Oh, and I almost knocked the egg over. There's a lot of that little stuff.
Don't break the egg.
The last thing I think is really the Mondo releases, because that just dropped today, right? They just announced them
it
today.
all came out. They teased it. They teased it last week. They made a post saying something that they were going to have some Godzilla stuff, but it might not even have been last week. It might have been a few days ago, but all they teased was the statue, which we've seen the statue before. Saw the statue in person at Comic-Con. They posted a picture of one of the larvae on the tail and was like, "Hey, this is coming this Godzilla day." And I, for some reason, was like, "Oh, that's going to be it. It's just going to be the statue." And this statue's cool. I've seen it in person. It's big and it's impressive. It's like $600, and it's not my favorite Godzilla. It's not something I don't buy a lot of statues, and this ain't my favorite Godzilla design. So this will be a pass for me. I don't know about you, Jay.
Yeah, I have my Attack Peter's the only statue I have from kind of this collection. I got rid of my my Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. These big ones, I think they did the 54 and the
there's
89.
The 89,
89, yeah. And I remember seeing, like, when we just saw like the black and white sketches of this, like when they Mondo was talking about all the stuff that's being released. So Tokyo SOS is great. Obviously, hey, Hiroshi Koizumi reprises the role of Chujo, but it's a hard pass for me. Like, I think it's a good looking statue, but
so expensive
for that price. Like, I have to really love it and need it, can't live without it. And that's just not it. And nothing from that movie probably will be.
Exactly. Same.
But this is a beautiful statue. If that movie means to you what Mothra versus Godzilla means to me, or Shin Godzilla or Godzilla versus Biollante means to you, then this is an amazing piece. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, you have to pick and choose. Otherwise, I mean, unless you have literally unlimited funds. But very cool stuff. And hey, it's a great statue.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm happy for them and for whoever gets it. I'm glad they're even doing Godzilla statues. But they also released there's an LP.
Pull that one up here. I think I have that one.
What
as
is
well.
it? Is it Godzilla versus Mothra? Is it? I can't remember which, because I've gotten to a point where I used to buy a lot of LPs. Yeah, Godzilla versus Mothra. This is cool. The art's cool.
Very cool.
I gave up on LPs because I'm like, you know what? I don't listen to them. I don't listen to them, and there's no good way to display them. So they're just on a bookshelf where you can't even know, you can't see it. You don't know what it is. It's just fucking stack. So this is something I'll pass on, but it is cool that it exists.
Yeah. I'm not an audiophile, and I do have a little bit of a vinyl collection, but it's stuff that I listen to. so like few and far between. Like I don't think I probably paid more than like $10 for any of the
Yeah.
vintage records, right? What I love that they're doing though is that what I've seen is there are a lot of audiophiles and music lovers in the Godzilla community, and I'm glad that these exist because not only are they these beautiful re-releases of great music. I mean, we all we could have a whole podcast on why the music of Godzilla is amazing, but like the artwork on both the covers, but also the LPs themselves, the vinyl themselves is so beautiful. This is one thing that I can truly put in that bucket of, I'm not going to own it, but I'm so happy it exists because I know there are people that will love these and collect these and will this will make their day. So I'm glad that kind of sector of the kaiju community gets their stuff as well. But very cool stuff. And I'm glad Mondo keeps doing this. And for all intents and purposes, I think they're killing it.
Yeah, they're doing great, dude. We can talk about the posters a little bit.
I'll share that. Which one do you do? Do you want to do the ones from the great Tom Whalen first, or do you want to do the other one, which I wasn't familiar with that artist? Is it Oliver Barrett?
I'm not familiar with that artist either.
We'll pull that one up first.
Pull that one up. Yeah, it's a cool poster. It's
for sure.
There's so many good Godzilla. Like this is a cool illustration.
Yeah.
It honestly looks like. I wonder if this guy did any of the artwork for the when the Criterion put out the big collection. This kind of looks like some of that artwork. It might be the same guy. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah,
you know what it looked like to me? Like it almost looked like a really cool book cover because you have the text and stuff down below.
Yeah.
Obviously a Japanese book cover. It looked really awesome and it kind of that portrait orientation. I thought it was really awesome. But yeah, I wasn't as familiar with his work, but I thought it was cool. It's simple, kind of raw design. I love it. I think it's really, really, really striking.
Yep, I agree. It's nice and simple, good colors.
Yeah, so let's go to our good buddy, friend of the podcast, the greatest kaiju artist of them all.
I agree.
And I know the great Tom Whalen. I'll pull up his stuff because it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll pull up the English version first. And here we go. The often overlooked Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, the 93 version with Fire Rodan and everything. And I love everything about this. This is so good.
Yeah, this is my favorite of the two. This is the variant. This one costs a little more. I wasn't ready, but I own one of every one of his Godzilla posters. And I don't mean I own the variant and the regular, but I own one or the other.
Yeah.
Of every print he's put out. So I have to buy this. I have to. I'm not. I want this one. I don't know. We'll see. There's a smaller run of the green, but I think the green looks great.
Let me see. I'll pull up the one with the Japanese.
And they both look good. The regular is like a purple.
Yeah, here we go.
That green looks so good, man.
There we go. So I actually like this one better. So I'm on the. I like this one better.
Okay. All right.
But it really is. Honestly, 51% to 49%. It's that close. It's a toss up. I love this. I mean, I love both. This one's really, I don't know. There's something about his spacing in some of these and his use of some of the negative space.
Yeah.
And I love the, with the emblem up top and then kind of the vertical with the credits. I don't know. It's really cool. That's awesome.
He knows composition.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, stuff, man.
We are breaking news to nobody. I obviously got Tom's work a little bit later than you did because you've been. I never was a big print collector just from a space standpoint, and I know you have been, and of course you also are an artist, so it makes sense. One of my biggest collecting regrets, no joke, 100%. Of all the stuff I have from Tom, I don't have not only maybe my favorite subject that he did, but actually I think maybe my favorite piece of art that he did was the Mothra versus Godzilla, and that's the one piece I don't have.
Dude.
I would say my second favorite that he's done, which I do have, is that foil Ultraman one that he has. That variant, that I got so cool. I was able to grab that one, but I never did. But now I have some more space here for that. I've been trying to.
We're gonna find you that Godzilla.
Yeah, I'll find it. Well, I mean, it's honestly like I can just go to eBay and buy it. Like, I mean, it's there. It's just way expensive, but it's worth it. I mean, like it's not. It's not.
There's other channels.
There's other channels, but yeah, but that's one that's really cool. But this one I think I just love that like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 is getting some love from Tom Whalen.
I'm excited that Tom has moved into the Heisei era, and I did a week or two ago. I did get to put up my Godzilla versus Biollante print from him, the AP. It is up, hanging up, and
Nice.
You know, I feel bad. I have all of his other Godzilla prints. That's the only one I have hanging on the wall. Yeah. I actually have I have one he did before he was doing Mondo stuff, and it's a Godzilla Jet Jaguar Megalon print, but it's not the same one he did for Mondo. But yeah, I just don't have space. I need more space to get them all up on one wall.
I just had an idea.
Okay.
We need to we need to get all of our money out of our YHS on Monster Island bank.
There's not much.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot, guys. And we need to pull it together, and we need to commission Tom Whalen to do a Mechanic Kong versus Zigra to represent his Showa-down spectacular battle. Remember that he just like whipped up those little pictures of the
that's amazing.
But we need to have that.
God, I love that, but I don't know if I want to waste our commission on that. We might
Mechanic Kong versus Zigra.
I know
the battle everybody wants. No, yeah,
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get him to do something. Maybe we need to get him to do a Monster Island shirt or something.
I love it. Cool. I love it, man. No, but Mondo killed it. I think these are really cool releases, and like I said, who knew that we wanted Godzilla, Mechagodzilla? I can't even talk. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 print from Tom Whalen, but now we know we needed it.
Dude, it just makes me wonder is he gonna make? Dude, he's gonna make Space Godzilla next.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really good.
Don't you think? I mean, he's either gonna do Space Godzilla and Destroyer are coming.
Well, there's one movie though. So here you go. It's a Toho license. 93, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. 94, December, Space Godzilla. There's one movie in between that. In the summer of 94.
He's not.
Yamada Takaru Orochi, the eight-headed dragon. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it. Tom Whalen. Dude. If you listen to the show, again, I don't know if you stopped listening, but if you do, tell Mondo. Yamada Takaru print. Revolutionize the game. It'll be basically like Mondo. I mean, or Funko will probably be like, you'll be our CEO and president now because of this amazing idea of an Orochi print. Yes, I'll buy all of them.
I would say part of me wants to say Mondo's not going to do something obscure like that, but they fucking put 6 Pulgasari figures out, which is insane, still insane to me.
Yep.
And those are 2 of my favorite figures that I have. Those are insane how good that big Pulgasari. I don't need to talk about it again. It happened 2 years ago, but those are good toys. If they're making that, then they can make me an Orochi.
I mean, could you imagine with all the crazy monsters and characters in that, like how he would have to fit it all into a print?
That would be an amazing. Print.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And it's great. We're challenging.
And it's on topic because the guy that played, the Kumasagami was Hiroshi Fujioka, who played Takeshi Hongo and Kamen Rider. So it's a tie. It's a tie-in. There's a connection.
And what a good segue to move us into our 10-minute talk about Kamen Rider. Jay, you've watched. I know you've seen some of this before, but you gave me the homework of saying like, hey, let's watch a couple episodes of Kamen Rider. It's something we've talked about a few times.
Yeah.
The only Kamen Rider I had ever seen up until this point was, I believe, Kamen Rider Zoe. Is that what it's called? It's like a short film. It's like 45 minutes long. It's the one that's like kind of scary, and he fights the stop motion Spider Woman. It's like really gritty and not anything like what I watched today. So we watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought it was really cool because unlike a lot of the shows that and podcasts and YouTube shows and stuff that you can watch on Kamen Rider, that they're experts, or people that not only love tokusatsu genre and the Henshin subgenre of that, but they're Kamen Rider, fanatics. We're not. Like I've seen most of I think all of the first series, and really that's it. And I know that
Right.
you're new to it, but
Yeah.
I'm
familiar with what he
Yeah.
is, and I've seen it's like Ultraman used to be. It's like
Yeah.
I was always like, well, what is this guy? I know he has something to do with something over here, but I've
That's
never seen it. And now I really like Ultraman. I'm still not an expert in it, but
yeah.
Kamen Rider was like the new thing. I figured out who Ultraman was, and then it was like, well, who the fuck is the guy with the scarf on the motorcycle?
I know, right? He's the
Which like
grasshopper guy.
I've only seen 2 episodes, but in both episodes he's getting timed riding his motorcycle. I was like, is that I hope that's an ongoing joke, and in every episode that old guy's like timing him on his motorcycle.
Oh, the great what's his name? Kiji Kobayashi, who was Muramatsu in Ultraman, the original Ultraman. He was the captain in Ultraman 66. But I felt it was cool because I think you would really like Kamen Rider. I think there's some of that. It also thematically, like there's some Halloween-y vibes with it's low budget costumes, which most of us do in Halloween. And also like Kamen Rider, like Ultraman, is so significant in kind of the larger tokusatsu genre. I mean, we've talked about like in the late 60s, I think 67, you had like the kaiju boom, right? Like that's when you had all the rise of Sofubi. You have all these, I think 7 or 8 kaiju movies that came out in 67 alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's and then Ultraman was there as well. Ultra 7, I guess technically in 67, but then you have a couple year lull, and then you have the big Henshin boom, and it's because of Kamen Rider. And it's because of not only was Kamen Rider cool, and they loved it, this, it's kind of this reimagining of the superhero genre, but also like it was a merchandising just boom for them, because I mean those fan belts, the transformation belts, but are one of the most popular items to this day of what kids want and stuff. And so like I felt like knowing just very little about Kamen Rider, I felt it was kind of a cool thing for us to both kind of go on this journey and kind of talk about something that neither of us are experts on. It's something we know that's important, if at least adjacent to the kaiju genre, but like important to like this kind of overall tokusatsu genre. And I thought it was something that I felt that you would really dig because of its just kind of zaniness. You're a fan and your knowledge within like low budget horror and things like that, and what they did with the few dollars that they had and made it amazing, and really made the best of that they can with their money. I thought was something that would be fun to talk about and just kind of get both of our kind of initial thoughts on watching these first 2. And also I felt the first 2 really are almost like a nice intro to it. And then, cause I felt in episode 3, you really get kind of more of the episodic feel, but like, I felt like 1 and 2 are great. And I mean, and we're talking Spider-Man and Batman, right?
Spider-Man and Batman.
So what were your initial thoughts just overall of these first 2 Kamen Rider episodes?
My first thought was, this is weird. I really liked, it is weird.
It's very 70s.
And it's like, it's kind of a weird premise. I like that the villains kind of create him. I think that's like a different thing where they're trying to turn him into like a henchman basically, and they fuck up and he gets out before they finish their process. So he becomes, he's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to fight you now. And I was like, well, that's a cool, like they gave him his powers basically. I think that's cool. I really like, what were the bad guys called? What are the Shocker?
Shocker,
That's a great. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the 3 Shocker women who show up like twice.
Yeah.
You see them like twice, and they're always
in their
like
fishnet stockings and everything.
Their hair covers their face, and they're in like these awesome outfits. I was like, I like this show. I was like, who are these women? More of this.
Can we get them on the show?
I like all of that stuff. The Shocker is super weird. That's the whole situation is weird, and the fact that they're like mutants or they're cyborgs, they don't really, it's like, what? Spider-Man's a cyborg, but he's like,
but also like a mutant.
It looks just like a dude wearing a spider mask to me, but it's like a cyborg, I guess, and not and the same thing with Batman. I like the Batman episode more because it's like, it was like, I felt like I was kind of like watching the X-Files almost. It was like, it felt like a horror movie. It's a vampire. It's a weird, it looks
human bat, as they call him, human bat.
Yeah. He looks kind of kabuki-ish, he's got the eyes, but he's a vampire and he's turning everybody into vampire, even though they're like well, it's a virus, but it's a smart virus. But it gives everybody goddamn vampire fangs at the side of them. It's turning everybody into vampires.
Your kabuki face paint. Yeah.
And weird, big, fake vampire teeth
that sticks straight out.
Yeah. I loved it, dude. It felt like watching, you know what? Oh, here's the perfect. It felt like watching a trauma movie, but without all the like gory. Have you ever watched a trauma movie before?
I have. Yes, I've been scarred by it when I was a young lad about
it
watching. It
felt like all the charm.
Yeah,
it felt like the kind of charming, low budget trauma stuff, but without all the gross stuff that trauma likes to throw in.
Yeah, and amazing intro music. I mean,
I thought the music was really fun, and every time he fights, that music pops up. I thought the music was really cool.
I love Rider
kick.
Yeah,
Rider kick, Rider jump. I think.
Yeah. It's I love that because those are almost to a T that my thoughts, and I love everything about it. I mean, it's very 70s. It has that vibe. I think the character of Takeshi Hongo has that, like, you know, obviously it predates this reference, but like it's a little bit like that. He's like a little bit like that Buckaroo Banzai type guy where he's a nuclear physicist and rock and roller. He's like a motorcycle, amazing athlete, and also a brilliant scientist, right?
I love in the first episode, whenever the old man is doing when he's timing him, but then there's like a voiceover and he's like, but also he's really smart. You know, and it's like you're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, they get away with like telling.
Or what does he say? He's like, but also his IQ is 600. You know, it's like some weird thing like that. You're like, what? Okay.
So I think what really hooked me was in these first two episodes. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get some weird creatures, and not in the sense like Ultraman. I think that's part of it is like, what wacky thing are they going to put together this week for a big monster? It's like, what wacky mutant cyborg thing is going to attack? And after seeing the Spider-Man and the Batman and how crazy a costume are we going to get? And eventually, like with in the Ultra series, you get to Pestar and it's like, okay, we jumped the shark, but we have another 10,000 episodes to go. That's what I think is a hook. And then also, you called it out. I love the origins and how he was supposed to be, you know, he's created by Shocker. And then as you can can tell, like, they don't tell you a lot about Shocker yet. You slowly peel it back of their origins and like, and there's, you know, ties to the Nazis and things like that. There's a lot of really cool stuff. And I think that it does a good job of pacing on that front, but I just, it's fun. It's so fun. And it's different. It's different than Ultraman. In the sense of like the enjoyment I get from it. Like it feels like the big three, obviously Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai. And I don't think I'll ever be a Super Sentai guy. I just won't. I there's parts of it that are cool, but like to me, like it's just not my thing. I love Ultraman. I love Ultra 7. I think Ultra 7, and there's almost like a vibe connection between that and the original Kamen Rider. And like I love. That's what I think I like about it. It's like it's a different type of enjoyment that I get from watching Ultraman 66, especially. But yet it's still in tokusatsu. It's still kind of in that same genre, and it's so cool. And but like I never feel like, okay, this is just derivative of Ultraman. It feels totally different.
It does.
And I like that about it.
Have you seen? You've only kind of seen the original stuff.
Yes, I've only seen the original. I've not touched any Kamen Rider, like modern Kamen Rider, which I've been told
still
by many.
Is it still...
and then Shin Kamen Rider is going to be part of the Japanese Japan Heroes universe with Shin Ultraman and Evangelion and Shin Godzilla. So I have been told by many a Kamen Rider fan, many a Kamen Rider expert that we've met through podcasting, but also at toy shows that combine look at my Kamen Rider inventory. And they list off like, here are the best Kamen Rider series. And nobody ever mentions the first one. So if I like the first one, I'm sure the other ones are even better.
The reason I was asking if you've seen any of the other ones is because I wonder if they keep that kind of dark tone or if they start to lighten up and become more Ultraman-ish.
You know, what I've heard, and once again, this is coming pure hearsay, is like, because Ultraman, there's so many series. There's some that are grittier and there's some that are wackier.
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, I know you probably remember when I watched Zoe.
Yeah,
that shit is dark. Like and I remember when I watched it, I specifically, seek that out to watch it because I saw some photos from it and I was like, whoa, this looks insane. I was like, this looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
But now I get it, seeing that it's just like a version of, this show. I was like, oh, it completely makes sense. But that you should watch that if you get a chance. It's a one-off. It's just one.
Yeah, you don't have to know.
It's a movie, but it's like 45 minutes long. And it's like, oh, this is going to give me nightmares. Yeah. It's that kind of thing.
Oh, and I did lie to you, Jake. I have seen another one. Do you remember, gosh, was it the mid 90s? Well, maybe even later than that, when Saban tried to adapt Kamen Rider as Mask Rider, and it was like to do with Power Rangers.
Yeah,
right?
They did the Power Rangers thing.
And it was garbage. It was just terrible. So I did see that. I can't remember
I ever watched that.
I can't remember what footage from what Kamen Rider show, if it was like Ryuki or which one they did for that one, but that one was not good, and I haven't watched that in a long time, so I don't. Maybe it was good and I missed out on it, but to me, like, I love the Showa era stuff and all my tokusatsu, whether it's Godzilla or Ultraman or whatever. So I'm excited to explore more. But watching those first 2 episodes, like, I kind of want to watch the third one, which is the Scorpion Man.
Scorpion did, yeah. I saw the at the end of the episode, they kind of give you the preview of the next episode. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep watching this. This is weird. But I really like the human bat, or the Batman. I think he looked really cool. Yeah. He had like crazy looking ears, and his mouth doesn't move when he talks, but like I just thought he looked cool and kind of creepy, and it's weird. He's just hanging upside down in that one scene in the corner of the room. I thought he was cool. Yeah, like the Spider-Man was like, okay, this is just a spider hit. Like, I was like, this is but I thought the Batman looked kind of cool.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I mean, like, it was just the ridges on the eye, like there was no blending of the edges, around the eye. But besides that, he was really cool. And also, he was a better villain. Like this, I don't even know what killed the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man didn't do. He also, there was a shot. What I did notice a lot is the camera work, and there's a lot of like really dramatic shots. And there's this really cool shot I thought in the first episode where Kamen Rider is fighting all the like henchmen, and in the right in the front, in the foreground, are like some tall grass, and you just see the hand of the Spider-Man. And it's just his hand, and he's just sitting there watching. And I was like, that's a cool shot while you're watching the action happen behind him. I was like, that's cool. But that's all he kind of did. He just kind of sat back there and
he was better. Like, he would have been like a better boss, like just like telling people what to do.
He had a cool voice though. I liked his voice.
The kill on the human bat was awesome, where he ripped off his his claw, his wing or whatever, where he was able to have the serum to save everybody. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was good, dude. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both episodes. It's not something that I've ever been like, I need to sit down and watch some Kamen Rider, but there's so many of like those type of shows. I think, like, I think I told you before, I own some show that I got a box set of. I bought it like at Walmart, like probably 10 years ago, and I don't even know what it is. It's called like Iron King or something, weird, but it looks like Ultraman. I'm like, this looks like Ultraman. Is this a knockoff, or is this just another one of those shows? There's so many. I don't know.
So many. I mean, like between like Fireman and and obviously Ultraman and Zone Fighter and all that. I mean, there's just so much. It's pretty cool. But I'm glad you liked it. Like I said, you never know with something as wacky, but I know your sensitivities to the amazing work and the using every practical effect you can think of to make something even cooler and creepier and amazing.
I like that kind of stuff. It gives it like a weird vibe. It feels like something that I just watched on the Shudder channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels like Joe Bob Briggs should have been introducing it, and I like that.
Yeah, and I love the 70s flair. I mean, you have scarves and you have, heeled boots and everything.
Dude, what I love is, like, I think it might have been in the first episode. I think it might have been the first time he's in Kamen Rider. It's like all the action is happening kind of like in this little valley. There's like a big mountain. Yeah. And then when he arrives, he's way up on the mountain. And the shot is like and he's like way off in the distance. And he's got this big flapping scarf, and I was like, it's so dramatic. I was like, this is amazing.
I mean, you talk about the impact. Like, think of that, and then I know it wasn't too far after that when you get like the Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, which is the first kind of Super Sentai. But like, you have the posing, you have every battle takes place in like a quarry or like you're a kid watching Power Rangers and obviously the Super Sentai footage. Like it's the same stuff. I mean, you can just see that built in to so much stuff. Even more so than like Ultraman, which, you don't have, I mean, yes, you have the poses and stuff from like his shooting his weapons, but like not the flamboyant over the top, like posing where he's just, he jumps out of the screen and then he's at the top of the mountain, right?
Was he fighting was he fighting with a sword in the second episode? What's he got? In the second episode, he's got something at one point. And I looked at my phone and then I looked up and I was like, hold on, is he sword fighing with somebody, or was he holding a weapon or something?
I can't remember. I know he had like I know he had like the halberds with the in the battle with the Scorpion Man's, or excuse me, the Spider Man's henchmen. He was doing that where they all had the pole weapons. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been that.
Man. I don't know. It's just cool. And hey, I really want him to make that big race in Europe. I really want him to qualify.
I hope he gets it. I hope that's like the last episode is that he like wins the race. The last episode of the season is like him doing the race or something.
So, and I might get this wrong. So I'm sure somebody that's a Kamen Rider expert will correct, because I'm trying to piece this together from memory. But the first season is like long, right? It's like 90 something episodes.
Jesus.
And he's not the only Kamen Rider in the first series, because I believe Hiroshi Fujioka breaks his legs at doing a stunt in real life, and they have to bring in another Kamen Rider to finish the shooting. And
so
then
they kind of ride it. They have to like ride it into the thing that there's a second.
Yeah. And so, and I know they overlap and they whatever, but I believe it. Like I said, I think it was because he had an actual stunt.
Yeah.
Because he's stuntman doing his own stunt, had an accident. Right. Like I said, somebody can correct me, but there's something along those lines where you get the two Kamen Riders in the first series. So, but yeah, but he's the best. Hongo's the best. I love Takeshi Hongo.
It's awesome. I love
it. And the other weird, creepy thing about it, and I told you this. So when I'm watching this for the show, when I first started Toku Toy Town, I bought my first big lot from my suppliers of stuff, and I've only have like maybe one item that hasn't sold from there, maybe two of these, dozens and dozens and dozens of things,
Yeah.
And because it's been a long time ago. One of them is something I thought would sell right away. Is this amazing Takeshi Hongo in blazer Metacom Sofubi item that was a Wonderfest exclusive, I think in 18 or 19. Watching this for the show, I get a notification. This item is sold. So there's something.
It's just been sitting there.
So I need to watch some more Kamen Riders, see if more of my Kamen Rider inventory sells. But I'm like, that's
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea, because I think also if you start watching it, you're going to be like, oh, I'm keeping this now. You're going to watch it and be like, oh, I think I'm going to keep this toy.
Hey, I'm still like, when we do our episodes, we always like, hey, I need to buy some of the toys from this movie. You know what?
Yeah.
The one I'm very proud of myself, I still don't own anything from Daigoro versus Goliath. So I still have not done that. And even though I want some.
I don't know, dude. I want that Daigoro's mom.
I know. I can't say the same about about Gilala. But Daigoro's mom. It's like the new Stifler's mom. Yeah. But yes, I love it. I love it. And thank you, Kamen Rider, for sending out those good vibes so I could sell that Takeshi Hongo.
Yeah, that was really good. It was all for that.
The eyebrows.
It's all for you. Yeah, dude, I'm glad you picked these. It's something that I probably wouldn't have ever I feel like at some point in my life I would have got around to watching some of it, but I'm glad it gave me a little push to put it on and check it out. And I'm glad that I can get on Pluto and just watch much more of it if I want. Pluto has some good stuff on there.
Yeah, and you can find it because it does feed from the Tokusatsu from the Shout Factory.
Yeah.
So you can go on their app as well and watch it. Same, you still have to watch it with commercials. And I even believe a lot of this stuff is on YouTube if you don't want to watch with commercials. The quality is not as kind of upgraded as it is on Pluto and stuff. But
right.
So you might get some weird frames and also some weird.
It's okay. It's free.
Yeah,
It's okay.
free.
It's just free. You can go watch it. So yeah, I say check it out. I say for anybody who's listening, if you know, if this episode has told you anything, go check it out. Like at least watch first couple episodes. That second episode's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Great. Hey, maybe that's a cosplay for the YHS crew. You can be the Batman, a Kamen Rider, one of the victims, one of the victims, and maybe one of the Shocker girls. Whatever the names are.
Be one of the. Don't go around saying you're one of the Shocker girls.
And as it was coming out, I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't say this.
Jay, you got anything else on Kamen Rider or
no? But yeah, we're the dumb podcast that talks about Kamen Rider on Godzilla Day. Yeah,
somebody's got to. Well, first of all, we talk about Godzilla every day. So
yeah, that's true.
It's okay. We'll talk about a little Kamen Rider.
That's true.
Well, dude, I think that about wraps it up, man.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for an awesome episode.
Dude, we're gonna get out of here. I hope everybody has like a really good Godzilla day. I'm excited to watch the shorts.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was sitting around bored or was it? What day is it? Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. I didn't work yesterday, and I sat around and I started watching Godzilla versus Destroya. Hadn't seen it in a while, and I was like in the mood for some Heisei film, and it's on Hulu. So I was like, let me put this on.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've watched it, and it's got such a good opening. It's got such a good opening, and then I tried to put it. That movie came out when. I was a kid when that came out.
Yeah, 95. Yeah.
And I tried to put myself in the mindset of seeing it for the first time, And when Godzilla like now, our whole lives almost we've known what burning Godzilla is, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, can I imagine being an adult who can think properly and seeing this for the first time? And being like, what the fuck is up with God? Why does he look like this? And there's like this really cool shot where while the credits are popping up, he's in the back. He's like, he's in the bay and the water's bubbling, but it's like a far away shot. I was like, this is for a Godzilla movie, this is a very artistic choice and then the credits come in and the fucking oxygen destroyer is in the credits. And I was like, hold on. I was like flipping out as if I'd never seen the movie before. I was like, what is the oxygen destroyer got to do? And it's like, it's such a cool thing. And then, 10 minutes into the movie, you're getting flashbacks to Serizawa, and I was like, man, this is a good movie. And I didn't finish it. I shut it off. I had some stuff to do, but I hadn't watched it in a while.
It's a great movie. I remember like that movie will always have a place in my heart because of, I can like distinctly remember like when the pictures were released, I'm sitting here, 95, let's say I'm like 14. So I'm in like middle school on my Packard Bell 486 DX and with my, signing on to AOL and like slowly seeing the images load and seeing Godzilla with the nuclear meltdown going on and like saving every picture that I had and be like, I will need these one day. I'll need these one day. And like, waiting for it to slowly load. And I don't know where I probably pulled them from like Barry's Temple of Godzilla or whatever the sites were back in the day.
GeoCities.
Oh yeah. It was amazing. But yeah, that's great. That's a good one to watch. Kind of just out of nowhere.
Yeah, just out of nowhere I was throwing it on and I guess I didn't really have a point to that story. Just I hadn't watched
Godzilla Day. You don't have to have a point.
I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. I hope everybody has a good Godzilla Day. Of course, we'll be back in 2 weeks with whatever the news is, whatever's out, whatever toys are out. But I think that's about it, Jay. You got any final words there?
I do not. But go
watch
a Godzilla movie.
Go watch a Godzilla movie. Bye.